Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft, filling in for Joy Taylor. On today's show, why haven't more players stepped up to support Colin Kaepernick? Plus, a fired-up Skip calls out Floyd Mayweather for being a chicken. And did Michael Jordan get it right, ranking Kobe above LeBron? Skip, Shannon, let's debate. Let's get it started with the latest on Colin Kaepernick. ESPN reported John Harbaugh and Ozzie Newsome wanted the Ravens to sign Colin Kaepernick, but have met resistance from owner Steve Bisciotti. The Ravens denied that report. Kaepernick also visited with the Seahawks earlier this offseason. Richard Sherman was asked why Kaepernick has not been signed and said it's not about football or color. It's about, boy, stay in your place. He played in Chip Kelly's system last year and went 16-4 in touchdown to interception ratio on a bad team. He played well because he's a good football player. He may not be the best, but he's better than a lot of these dudes starting. Not a lot of guys are willing to step out there, so the guys not speaking up for him are doing him a disservice. There should be a lot more guys saying something. Most guys are like, I don't want my job to end up the same way. Shannon, what is your reaction to what Sherman had to say?
Richard Sherman spoke the absolute truth of the matter. Because the NFL contracts are non-guaranteed, because the average NFL career is 3 years, I'm not going to take an opportunity to risk the 3 years that I might have that cut down to 1 or 2 and not have guaranteed money. See, the NBA, MLB, they have guaranteed contracts. Guys are more apt. That's why you see LeBron James and you see some of the guys in the NBA willing to take more of an out-front stance on social issues. I would like to see more players speak out, but I don't really think that's going to happen. And that also explains, Richard Sherman said a couple of weeks ago, players, if we want to get money more in line with MLB and basketball, we might need to miss some games and some game checks. But guys are not willing to risk those game checks. Because, Skip, oftentimes the person that's speaking out on certain issues isn't the person that necessarily benefits. It comes after the fact.
Sure.
Give you a prime example in sports, Curt Flood. He didn't get the opportunity to benefit from free agency.
One of my favorite early players, because I love the St. Louis Cardinals, but go ahead.
Yes.
And he won and lost. Yes.
He won and he lost, but everybody that came after him won.
They did.
Because we see the contracts that they're getting now, Skip.
Yeah.
And what Richard is speaking to, he sees that Colin Kaepernick, who did not abuse anyone, did not get a DUI and kill anyone, did not harm animals, didn't do anything, didn't steal property, and he gets treated like this. And he mentioned Michael Vick. He said Michael Vick got a $100 million contract. To this day, Michael Vick is the only NFL player to ever receive 2 $100 million contracts.
Yep.
He received the second one after spending time in Fort Leavenworth, a federal prison where he was running an illegal dogfighting operation. There's no such thing as legal dogfighting, but I'm just saying that's what he went to prison for and gave him a second chance. That very organization that gave Michael Vick a second chance had a receiver on that team utter the atomic bombs of racial slurs. Riley Cooper said the N-word. Not only did they not release him, they gave him a contract extension. And
I called for his release the next day. It's the most evil word in our language. Go ahead.
And if you remember, Michael Vick was sitting right there, and he said in the meeting, Chip Kelly, Michael, what should we do? He put the black guy on the spot.
He did.
What was Michael going to say? Release him?
I don't know. We had Michael on the show, and I cross-examined him about that because I thought maybe in hindsight Michael would say, I regret that, but he didn't. He thought that was a bold and important statement for him to make. But go ahead.
Riley Cooper got a contract extension.
He did.
Even the owner, Jeffrey Luer, wrote and said, hey, he regrets that it happened. He apologized. Everybody deserves a second chance, and we're ready to move on. That's what he said with that incident. We have John Mara, who's co-owner of the New York Giants. He gave a guy 2 years, $4 million contract after the guy told him, I abused my wife. Now, John Mara was very out front and says he received some of the harshest letters he's ever received talking about Colin Kaepernick. Yet he said nothing about what fans potentially said about the Josh Brown signing. You see how hypocritical that is, Skip? But what we're starting to see is that people, the owners, not people, and some people too, but the owners view what Colin Kaepernick did worse than a guy that went to prison for dogfighting, worse than a guy using the racial epithet, worse than a guy that abused his wife and told you he did it. That's what we're starting to see, Skip. The problem that I have is twofold on a lot. Because I have the utmost respect for our young men and women of the military because they give their life and some of them have to pay the ultimate sacrifice. But we'll send those brave young men and women to a foreign soil and ask them to fight for freedoms and liberties of people that's not American citizens. Mm-hmm. But we're very hesitant to fight for the very citizens that represent the United States of America. Why is that, Skip? And we're not asking you to give your life. You don't even have to leave the country. We're asking you to lend us your voice. That when you hear something and you see something that's wrong and you know it's wrong, how about you speak out and not remain silent? Dr. King says it's not the bad people doing. He said it's the silent people that don't speak out against it. This is so embarrassing. And what the town hall showed me, what Steve Bisciotti did, is that he didn't want to make the decision. He was willing to pass the buck. It's kind of like, Skip, when Ernestine comes out and says, Skip, which one? She wants you to make the decision because she doesn't want to. Steve,
I'm going to lose either way.
Exactly. No. But Steve Bisciotti, he doesn't want to make the decision. Because in all these instances, when they signed Michael Vick, did Mr. Lurie go to the sponsors and the fans?
I agree.
What do you think? With Riley Cooper, what do you think?
Nope.
They didn't do any of that, Skip. But they want to pass the buck. And they're quick to say everybody deserves a second chance. Colin Kaepernick does not deserve a second chance because he did nothing wrong to ruin the first chance that he got. He kneeled in front of the flag and he's asking, Skip, you go to church. I pray every night. And every night I fall on my knees and I say the very same words come out every time. I say, dear Heavenly Father, our gracious and most Heavenly Father, I come to thee in the most humble way I know how, a bowed head and bent knee. He's on a knee, and he's going before the American flag. And he says, America, there's something wrong in our society, in our communities. And I'm asking that our innocent young men and women, unarmed, black and brown men and women are being killed. And I'm not asking, all I'm asking, because we know who's doing it. These are not cold cases. These are not unsolved mysteries. We know who do it. And a lot of times we have it on camera. All I'm asking is that they be held accountable for their actions. I'm not asking for any more, any less than what I rightfully deserve. And for what these owners are doing to Colin Kaepernick, Skip, this is what you see. Owners would rather lose, have their season go down the tubes if they start to get hurt, as opposed to signing this young man who's more than willing and competent to do the job. They say we might need help, but not your help, Cap. And that's what we're seeing, and it's a shame. Richard Sherman spoke the truth, the absolute truth, because, and Michael Bennett has some great quotes in the article. I suggest people, Jared Bell did a great job of writing this for USA Today. Michael Bennett has some great, he said, this is why we see such divisiveness in the NFL. Let me expand upon that, Michael. The NFL and sports are a microcosm of society. I believe race is the greatest issue that's facing America, more than health care.
Agreed.
More than taxes.
Agreed.
All this other stuff.
Yep.
Because right now, what we're seeing in America is that minorities, let me put it in football terms, and I'm going to turn it over to you, Skip. Skip, if you get the ball on the 2-yard line and you drive to midfield and you were to look back, you're like, damn, we came a long way. But in order to get the ultimate payday, you still got 50 yards to go to get the ball into the end zone. So while blacks and minorities have come a very long way, but when you look off to the horizon, you realize, damn, we still got a long ways to go.
I have so much to say about this. And I'm going to start with this before I go deeper. The one thing that slapped me in the face this morning as I read this very early this morning here in Los Angeles, and I do respect Richard's intellect. He made powerful points, most of which you have already made on this show repeatedly. But my first thought was, okay, Richard, why didn't you and your defense and your team leaders in the locker room put your money where your mouths are? Remember, just a few weeks back, Seattle was the first team that seemed to take a serious look at Colin Kaepernick, correct?
Correct.
They brought him in. I don't know why they didn't see fit to work him out. They just picked his brain for a while. Where are you? What are you thinking?
Kick the tires.
Kick the tires. Was it all for show? Was it lip service? Maybe. but the defensive leaders all spoke up and spoke out. We want this man on our team.
Right.
Would that man have become something of a threat to their starting quarterback who's had some issues with some of the players on defense? Maybe he would have. Colin Kaepernick's really good. He had a really good year last year.
Right.
I'm not saying he's better than Tom Brady, but he's a qualified, bona fide starting quarterback in this league.
Absolutely.
And he has proven that over a duration of time. So what if the moment the word broke in Seattle's locker room, we just kicked the tires? We're actually not going to sign Colin? What if Richard had stood up and then Cam and Michael Bennett and Bobby Wagner and Earl Thomas, Cliff Averill, they all stood together and they said, we boycott. I know you're going to say, well, you know, you don't want to risk, you know, your non-guaranteed contracts,
Correct.
right? What if they had, seriously, put your money where your mouths are and say, we refuse to allow this to happen. Clearly, he's not a good fit for us. He's a great fit for us. Mr. Allen, Paul Allen, obviously had a lot to do with this, I'm assuming. I don't know. Maybe Pete Carroll had something to do with this.
Richardson in the NFL.
What's that?
He's the
Richardson
in the
okay.
NFL.
Okay, you got it. But why didn't they take a literal stand and say, we boycott, and if you don't bring this man in, we're not going to play game 1 or game 2 or game 3. We stand together for Colin Kaepernick. This is an injustice, because clearly it is. Great fit for them. Perfect. They need him.
Right.
Baltimore needs him, even worse, I think, than Seattle needs
Correct.
him, obviously. Okay, help me out here. What if they had done that? What would be the end of that? Where would it go? What if they just took the heart and soul out of the Seattle Seahawks for at least game 1 of the regular season? What would have happened?
Or at least, Skip, if they didn't take that approach, how about call your players' union, your players' association,
Okay.
which Sherman is the executive committee on, and say, D, how should we handle this? We see what's going on, and we don't think it's right. So how do we band
But
together?
you said yourself, you don't have a lot of respect for the players' union's power,
Right.
right? Or its willingness to exert said power,
Right.
It's kind of part and parcel of the NFL establishment to a
Right.
fault, right?
Yes.
So maybe that's a non-starter for Richard Sherman. Maybe he knows in his heart of hearts, that ain't going nowhere.
Well, if that's the case, then when you galvanize, you get Michael Bennett, you get Wagner, as you mentioned, Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas. You get some of the biggest stars outside of Russell Wilson is on the defensive side of the football. So you get those guys together and says, okay, guys, what do you think the best way to handle this situation is? And if we need to put pressure on our said team.
I mean, this is a man, Richard Sherman, who in the middle of a football game last year went to the head coach and said, don't throw the ball again from the 2-yard line,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Remember that?
Remember what happened last
It's a real
time.
game. He went and said, don't do it.
Yep.
Out of bounds to me, but still gutsy, man.
Right.
Brazen. Well, why not stand for Colin Kaepernick? Seriously, because then it would put Paul Allen on the hot seat with his other 31 owners,
Right.
because they would all be sending messages or calling Paul Allen to say, you cannot fold to this. You know, you
Right.
cannot buckle here. You
Right.
got to stand strong for us, right?
Because that's what they're doing. They're standing
Okay,
strong,
all right.
one for one,
Well, who wins
all
that?
for one and one for
Who
all.
wins that stare down between the Seahawks defense, the Legion of Boom, versus Paul Allen and basically all the NFL owners?
Right.
I don't know. I would give the Seattle defense a shot in that one.
Yes.
I would, seriously. Okay, so that's putting money where your mouth is. Okay, now I'm going to go deeper. And forgive me for this. I'm just going to blurt this out. This country is facing such a racial and cultural divide right now because you see it one way and you see it blindly, passionately one way, and you can't see the forest for the trees that is the white establishment over here that sees this whole issue completely upside down from the way you're seeing it right now. So why am I uniquely qualified to try to explain this to you? I'm obviously white. I am not and never have been a member of the white establishment. The white establishment never liked me. I have worked for white establishment newspapers and television networks.
Correct.
The one I just left.
Right.
It's white establishment, man, and they never really liked me. I don't fit. I'm a communist, man. I'm too out. You know, I'm going to break the rules, right?
Yeah.
So, but I have been part of it because I grew up in it. I didn't come from money, but I won a full scholarship, which my parents could have never afforded, to Vanderbilt University. So I came through school with a bunch of kids who were on their way to becoming part of the White establishment. Lawyers and doctors and judges and leaders of companies, okay?
Right.
Captains of industry. I came up through school with them. I know their mindset here. And the disconnect is over the flag. And Richard and you and everyone, all the black players keep saying, he did nothing wrong. And trust me, every time those words come out of your mouth on this show, there are those out there watching who are white, members of they're older white people. They say, he did nothing wrong. He disgraced our flag. He disrespected our flag. Instead of saying, we in America have a race problem, which we obviously do, and I think a lot of those white establishment people will be the first to admit, we got a big problem. Again, white cops killing unarmed black men or men of color, women of color.
Yeah.
I have railed about that on this show. It's a passionate sore spot for me. And I think a lot of white people get that. But as soon as you say to protest, I'm going to protest against that flag, then you've lost it because they're going a whole different direction. They're saying, oh, it's not a we problem. You're saying you're anti-American. You're not asking for our help. You're saying you're going to distance yourself from the flag that so many of our soldiers, and obviously black soldiers too, died for our freedom. We got attacked by Adolf Hitler over here and the Japanese over here, and somehow we won our freedom.
Right.
It hasn't been that long ago. It's just 1945. It wasn't that long ago. We were under attack from both theaters, from Europe and from the Pacific, right?
And blacks have been fighting for their freedom for 400 years.
You got it. Okay, but see, now you're disconnecting it. This disconnect is so wide because so many Americans, this is somewhere between racism and patriotism. And I don't know where that line blurs for most white people. Are there obviously some white people who are not racist, who are just super patriot? Yeah, there are. Are there some who's somewhere in between racism and patriotism? You better believe there are. But whatever it is, as soon as you disrespect the flag to make your statement, they're going to close their eyes and close their ears, and they are going to threaten the sponsors of the Baltimore Ravens. If it's a car dealership in Baltimore, they're going to say, you know what? I don't want to buy a car from that guy anymore because really, Colin Kaepernick, he disrespected our flag. Again, this is a great disconnect. You're saying he did nothing wrong because protest has been a part of this country for hundreds of years. Yeah. It's part of our freedom in this country. But again, being blackballed here to a lot of people is being red, white, and blue balled. You get me? Because you just can't protest by saying, I don't want to be a part of you, because you know what their answer is going to be? Well, then please go somewhere else. You know how that is. I'm just trying to explain. It's not my mindset, but that's where the disconnect is here.
Yeah, well, actually, he was white ball because there are no black owners, so he was
okay, well, that's
white
fair.
ball. But here's the thing, Skip. They will look at someone, they look at Colin Kaepernick and says, he disrespected the flag.
Yeah.
But what about America that has disrespected so many minorities?
Okay, you make great points, but they don't want to hear it. That's the problem.
Thank you.
And Steve Bisciotti is all ears to his sponsors right now, which is why he floated all those trial balloons at the equivalent of a town hall meeting out in his stadium with a bunch of sponsors present and the commissioner of the league sitting on a stool up by him on the dais, right, or on the stage. Right?
Yes.
And what did Steve Bisciotti start to hear? I believe, this is my 2 cents from a distance, he started hearing,
I don't want him, my season tickets, I'm willing to give them up.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this great disconnect is happening, and injustice is also happening because he deserves I think everybody would agree he deserves a job.
No, he's earned a job.
He's earned a job, right.
You can't tell me there's 100 quarterbacks that's participating in camp right now that's better than Colin Kaepernick. I'm not saying he's Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, but it's hard to convince me Josh McCown that's been on 10 teams and Fitzpatrick and Hoyer that's been on 7 apiece that are better than Colin Kaepernick.
And yet, remember, I went all the way back to 1968. John Carlos, Tommy Smith protested during the anthem at the Olympics. Remember?
Yes.
They both went on to play pro football. See, they both went back when they got drafted, but they weren't franchise quarterbacks.
Right.
They were receivers. So they went on about their lives and it was okay, right?
Correct.
But in this case, this is the franchise quarterback. It's the most sacred position in all of sports.
Correct.
You know this and I know this. And that's why it gets so dicey with white establishment sponsors ooh, he's the face of the franchise. Do you see what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the blindest person isn't the person that cannot see. It's the one that chooses not to see.
I agree.
See, you see what's going on.
They're choosing. They're choosing. You got it.
You
got it.
Because
it's a disconnect.
Because of all the things that they've said, oh, I don't agree with he did it, they have yet to mention why he did it. No owner, have you heard any owner say why Colin Kaepernick did? Okay, fine. I disagree with why he did it, but there is a serious problem. They won't even say that. They won't even acknowledge it. You know why, Skip? Because what's going on does not impact them. They have private security, and this will never touch their doorsteps. But if you had empathy, if you see yourself as that individual,
I agree.
Then you can start to empathize and realize that this is a serious problem and have some compassion.
No mercy.
Hey guys, before we move on, I wanted to tell you that the Undisputed podcast is brought to you by Barbasol. The biggest thing to happen to Barbasol since shaving cream is also the only thing to happen to Barbasol since shaving cream. Introducing new Barbasol razors. The brand America trusts for a close, comfortable shave now has premium disposable razors. Barbasol's close shave technology on every razor means you get an advanced pivoting head and ultra-thin open flow blades. The Ultra 6 Plus razor also features a 7th blade specifically designed to refine and style tricky areas like under the nose, sideburns, and beard. Visit Barbasol.com and get a $2 savings coupon and see for yourself why Barbasol razors are the #1 new disposable razors out there. You're looking good, America. You're shaving with Barbasol.
No mercy.
Well, today is Tom Brady's 40th birthday. Gosh, that's unreal when I say that out loud. We are joined now by a man that faced Brady 8 times, including 2 playoff wins at Foxborough, Ray Lewis. Ray, thank you for being with us.
Absolutely.
And I got to ask you, I mean, when you think about Tom Brady,
Yeah.
how many years do you anticipate he continue playing for?
I just truly believe TB can play as long as he want to play.
As long as he wants.
Yeah. I told her I had a conversation with him.
Call him Tom. He don't get no initials.
TB.
That's respect.
That's respect.
Whatever. Tom Brady, as you were saying, but go ahead. Nah, he gets it.
I tell you, I asked him at the MVP celebration, Carolina and Denver Super Bowl, and we were standing beside each other, and I said, TB, how long you gonna go? And he was like, I'm probably gonna go to about 45. I was like, look, ride the thing out. But when you think about it, right? So you have a true professional who understands the dynamics of taking care of his body, who understands, he don't live a crazy lifestyle, always going home, always taking care of his business, always studying. And then, Shay, you know this, there's no pounding for him. So for him to continue to play at this level, for me, people say, it's amazing. I say it's just, if you take care of what you need to take care of, then you can play this game for a very, very long time. And that's what I think Tom is doing. You know, the people saying he's defying age. I don't think he's defying age. I think he's doing what young kids should think about doing early in their career.
Taking care of themselves.
Absolutely, which is what Gronk is saying right now, right? Take care of yourself, right? Stretch more. You know, it'll blow your mind, the people that don't stretch, don't go to yoga class and things like that. You know, and so for this guy to keep doing what he's doing, look, he's at the top of the food chain right now. And who knows, right? I think winning is a disease, right? You don't like to stop winning. You like to keep winning. And I think for him, he can do whatever he wants to do.
I can see him playing a couple of more years.
Yeah.
But the biggest question, Skip, and you've debated this a lot, will those 2 to 3 more years be in New England? Because what happens is that when it goes quick. Now, the one thing that he has working in his favor, he doesn't play a skill position where speed is of the utmost importance.
Right.
So he's a drop-back quarterback, so now he can just stand up in the pocket. They can protect him. They've done a great job of surrounding him with quick, his short passing game, that's the running game. Yeah. So he's at an advantage because he plays the quarterback position, the most protected position on the field. Yep. Not only do you have 5 linemen protecting you and sometimes a back, you also got the official in the NFL protecting you also. And plus the fact, like I said, he doesn't have quick twitch fibers, which is not necessarily, you don't need to play that position. But Skip, for me, I know about all the hot yoga and the stretching and the Pilates and the gyrotonics and all that. I know about all that stuff. The mega reformers. I know all, done it all. I know about all the avocados. Now, there's going to be an avocado shortage. Because what I've seen since I've been in California, they put avocado on everything. Yeah. Can I get something without avocado? I didn't ask for this.
Good for you.
It ain't good for me.
Yes,
I want something good to me.
You don't like avocado?
No. And don't put it on my sandwiches either.
Really?
No.
Stop
Like
playing
the
so
first
much.
person I've met.
He
doesn't
played
talk
too
about
much.
it.
He played too much. Go ahead.
And then,
This is,
so you can eat all the avocado ice creams and Skip Bayless buying his pajamas. You know, Skip buys pajamas to be sleeping in his pajamas, and he got a big old furry pillow.
Recovery pajamas.
What you recovering from? Me busting you up daily?
Yeah.
You should. You go get in the hyperbaric chamber after this?
Yeah.
Yes, I don't
I
bam
do.
you over the head with all these debate. Skip, can he play a couple more years? I believe he can. The question is, the $1 million question is, will that be in a New England Patriots uniform?
It's a good question.
Because I believe that they're going to keep Jimmy Garoppolo because Coach Belichick does not want this thing. Because as you said, winning is not only, it's a drug.
Yeah.
And Coach Belichick is high off winning. He cannot going to 10 and 6, 11 and 5 would be a disgrace to him when all you do is win 12 games, 14 games, 15 games every year. So with that being said, could he play a couple more years? I just do not believe it's going to be in New England.
Okay, but the question Jenny asked was, no matter what color uniform he might be wearing.
2 years
how-
max.
You're saying 2 years max. You are betting against one guy you should not be betting against, especially when it comes to longevity in the National Football League.
Here's all my possessions right here. Shoving it in. I'm going all in.
2 years max.
2 years.
I agree with you. History tells you that when it hits fast and hard, and Father Time waits for no man.
Nope.
But Tom Brady, as you correctly point out, has found ways to at least hold Father Time at bay, nutrition and stretching. He is shattering that mold. And yet, I get the mindset. I just happened to have Mike and Mike on, flipping around this morning on the treadmill. And Willie Colon, you might remember the offensive guard for the Steelers
Steelers
and
and
Jets,
Jets.
was on as a guest host, and I'm paraphrasing what he said, but he said what so many players have said about Tom Brady. I respect him, but I'm sick and tired of hearing about Tom Brady. I wish he would just go away. And again, he was saying it kind of playfully, but he was like, he's like a Kardashian to me. I wish he'd just go away because every time I turn on something, it's Tom Brady, Tom Brady, Tom Brady. And obviously today he's 40 years of age. So it's a milestone moment for what you've even conceded to be the greatest quarterback in history, right? So to me, if he says he's going to play 6 or 7 more years, if he says he's going to play to 45, I'm not going to bet against this guy because the key element here that you have admitted to me went out was your fire, right?
Yep.
This guy's fire isn't just still burning. I think it's still raging.
It is.
Is he addicted to? Sure, he's addicted to winning. But he's playing in the perfect place for him. The offense is his offense. He's effectively his own coordinator. He knows it the way no one will ever know an offense much better, maybe Peyton in Indy, but this scheme that we discussed and debated yesterday, he gets it. He can see it before you can see it, except for the kryptonite that was the Ravens. But that's a while back now. I told you yesterday, I think he's gotten a little better and a little better, and his offensive line last year got way better than it was at Denver in the AFC Championship
I almost want to say defense has gotten worse, but he's taking full advantage of it. I mean, but to your point about if he would be in New England, I tell you what, I never thought I'd see Joe Montana in a different uniform. I just never thought it, right? I never thought I'd see Brett Favre in a different uniform either.
Smith.
Right, it's just certain people I never can put in a different uniform. It's like I never in a million years thought I would see Michael Jordan in a different uniform. I just didn't. Right? And
I
so,
couldn't have imagined Ray Lewis in another uniform.
I'm not
I
getting
didn't
a
have
new
to.
uniform. No,
I got it.
Skip, it ain't happening.
I know.
It ain't happening. But that's the thing. Like,
I want a statue beside yours in Baltimore.
That was not your first uniform, huh?
hey man, you have lost.
I want a little mini
So,
statue.
so you went and rode his coattails to a third ring, and you want a statue for?
I got a little something. I mean,
Could they make a little statue with you hanging on to his coattails?
hold up. What about the plays I made, Skip? Don't they count for something?
That big one in Oakland.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Big play.
One play, Shay.
Big play shake.
I called the
That's
game.
all we needed. That's all we needed, Skip.
I
was
called the
one
game
play.
win against Jacksonville, second
Yes,
game
sir.
of the season.
That's it. That's it.
I mean, Skip, you make it seem like I was just doing nothing.
Tony Banks down the middle of the field.
Can you make a case that might have been the best defense in NFL history?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
Remember those playoff numbers?
Think about this. They gave up 165 points in 16 games. They gave up 3 points to the Broncos, 10 points to the Titans, 3 points to the Raiders, and they gave up no point to the Giants. They ran the kickoff back. That's what they gave up. That's what they gave up.
Now, that is an achievement. That's all time.
Yeah, that was all time. But you
Okay.
know.
But all we needed was big plays. Shea with one play.
Shay,
With one
we
play.
just need him and Woody. Shay, we need one.
Me and Rod used to always go to him and say, Shay, all we need is one play. Don't just give us one play.
Wait, hey,
Well, I'll
I'm
give you,
good
you're
for
capable
one.
of making one play.
Yeah.
In fact, we're on 2.5 hours a day, and you make usually one play.
Well, hey, well, you better
I'll
tell,
give you one.
well, tell
One
Jason
play.
Witten he need to make a play. They don't say big play Jason Witten. They say big play Shay.
Jason Witten makes
Oh.
a lot of big plays.
He does.
Huh? First downs?
Two
Yeah,
years
Shay, he
ago,
does- he makes a
season
lot of
opener
first
against the
downs. Cut that
Giants,
out,
he
you
caught the
know.
game winner. Is the buzzer beater. Jason Witten, he's
Yeah.
clutch.
Stop it, Skip. I run him right now.
Yeah. You know what? You're going to have to eat your words on this. He's only going to play 2 more years.
2.
Yeah. You watch. I think he'll be a 49er for 3 years after.
Dope.
Huh?
Yeah, I do. I just think he'll go home. That's his home area, and they'll be on the rise at that point. He
See, I
grew up.
don't okay. So before we end this, I don't understand, like, the value of why would Tom Brady ever leave New England?
Because he get pushed out the back door by Bill Belichick, who feels like he's earned the right to prove he could win one more without Tom Brady.
And if you're Tom Brady, you don't walk away and letting that be the last time you wear that jersey?
What if you want to play 3 more years? What if you
Really?
know you've
And
got
put
it
on
in your
another
heart?
and put on another uniform.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, one uniform, but
I could
again,
never- I
what-
could-
okay, what
Skip,
if you
listen.
grew up a 49er fan and a Montana
Skip, I
fan?
grew up a 49er fan.
Really?
My whole life. My
Okay.
whole life.
Yeah, because they had got good when he started watching them. But when I came along, they were some straight up trash.
Okay, but remember, he grew up in the shadows of
Right.
candlesticks.
Right.
No mercy.
Well, a lot of the talk leading up to Floyd and Conor's mega fight has been about the size of the gloves. The standard for a 154-pound bout is 10-ounce gloves, but Mayweather went on Instagram and challenged McGregor to go with smaller gloves. Mayweather posted, "McGregor, let's fight in 8-ounce gloves," then added, "Don't believe what you hear in the media. Don't believe what you hear on blog sites. If it's not coming directly from me, then it's not true. I'm telling McGregor, let's fight in 8-ounce gloves. McGregor can fight in any brand he prefers or chooses. I'll be wearing 8-ounce Grant gloves. Whatever advantage McGregor needs to feel more comfortable in the ring, I'm willing to accommodate. Let's give the boxing and MMA fans what they want to see." Well, then McGregor responded on Instagram with an image in the boxing ring and said, "Another handy 12 rounds today. We are prepared to destroy Floyd. Pick whatever size gloves you want as well, little man. I fight with 4 ounces. I don't give a bleep about the size of the glove. I am coming sprinting at you with bricks. Know that, brittle hands." The Nevada State Commission said they will not allow smaller gloves for the health and safety of the fighters. So that was a lot, but I wanted to make sure you guys had the full story before we get into this one. Skip, what is your take on everything that was just said?
Yeah.
Mr. Sharpe, I am sick and tired of your man's posing and fronting and bluffing. This is classic Floyd may or may not weather, because this is a big may not weather in the end. So, as you know, at one of those media sessions, he volunteered, out of anger, when his buttons got pushed by Conor McGregor, he volunteered, "I'll wear 4-ounce gloves," which is what Conor wears in the MMA.
Correct.
And now he has gone, Floyd, onto Instagram to post a proclamation, a declaration that he will wear 8-ounce gloves and he will allow Conor to wear 8-ounce gloves of any brand of his choosing. And it comes across like a concession, a promise. And it's the biggest bunch of hot air that's ever come out of Floyd's mouth. This is nothing but fake toughness by a fake tough guy in Floyd Mayweather. You know it, and I know
Are
it.
you saying this is fake news?
Of fake news. Yeah. It is fake news. Because the Nevada State Athletic Commission has a hard and fast rule, as the shrewd operator Floyd Mayweather knows all too well, a rule that if you box at 154, you must wear 10-ounce gloves. So Floyd is huffing and puffing about, "I'll wear 8." He even said he would wear 4. Bring it on, Floyd. But Floyd knows he's going to be protected by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, and he is the cash cow for said commission because he lives and works in Las Vegas, and Las Vegas is about to stage The biggest sports event in Las Vegas history. Am I right about that?
Yep.
The biggest cash cow event in Las Vegas history. So I dare you, Floyd, I challenge you to draw a line in the desert sand with the Nevada State Athletic Commission and say, guess what, guys? We will take our event to Madison Square Garden or Staples or Macau. We'll take it to Macau unless you bend the rule, because this is a hybrid fight. This is MMA versus boxing. It's not pure boxer versus boxer. Bend your rule for our cash cow event, Las Vegas, or we will take our fight elsewhere. I dare you, Floyd, but you won't do it because you're chicken. You want a pillow fight. You want giant 10-ounce gloves so you can hide behind them and protect your arthritic hands. You just got called out by Conor McGregor, brittle hands versus bricks. And Conor's going to be throwing bricks, and I would love to see you dare to accept those bricks with 4-ounce gloves, but I'll take 8. And you know and I know you won't do it because you're a coward when it comes to the gloves.
Whoa, Skip, where's this coming from?
When it comes to the gloves, he's a coward.
Whoa.
You know it. I just called him out because I nailed him.
Right now, I'm going to need you at a 3. That was like a 10 or 11. I need you at a 3 right now. So I need you to take it down a couple of octaves, okay?
Am I right?
No.
You know I'm right.
Skip.
You know I'm right.
I've said this all along. When you get into the moment, you say things, you're like, did I say that? Kind of like the Packers CEO. Remember he said, the Packers are going to the Super Bowl. That's going to be great. Drive to Minnesota. And then he thought about it like, I probably shouldn't have said that. Skip.
I thought hard about saying this, and I'll say it again if you want me to.
Skip.
You're a coward when it comes to 10-ounce gloves.
Skip.
Sorry.
You don't have to apologize. You're good.
The whole thing, all I wanted to know was what weight they were going to fight at. Once I knew it was 154, I knew it was going to be 10-ounce gloves. Skip, think about this. Floyd Mayweather is 49-0. He's had 3 fights at 154. He fought Miguel Cotto, he fought Oscar De La Hoya, he fought Canelo Alvarez. The other fights have been at 147. Now, the last time he fought, think about when last he fought Canelo, what was that, 2013, 2012? Skip. He went to 154 because he wanted those 10-ounce gloves. You knew that. I know that.
Okay, so are you, Shannon Sharpe, saying, a Hall of Famer, by the way, a Pro Football Hall of Famer, a real tough guy, Shannon Sharpe, are you saying you are afraid of 8-ounce gloves?
No, there are rules, Skip. The rule says if you fight at 154, you use 10-ounce gloves. If at 147 or down, you use 8-ounce gloves. Skip, this is a sanctioned boxing match, sanctioned by the Nevada Athletic Commission.
Are you going to hide behind that rule again?
Skip, if you remember, what happened in 1982 that caused boxing to go from 15 rounds to 12? Ray Boom Boom Mancini killed Duke Koo Kim in the ring. They went from 15 to 12, and you heard the Nevada Athletic Commission say, we're not altering these rules for the protection of the fighters.
Okay, so are you admitting you fear that Floyd might get actually killed in the ring with 8-ounce gloves?
Skip.
I think you're scared. I do.
Skip. So that would be like a team said, you know what, I don't care. I'll play the Patriots. We can play 20-minute quarters. The NFL says you play 15-minute quarters unless it's overtime, and now they're thinking about revamping those rules. Skip, they're not bending the rules because once you start.
You know what the Patriots would say? Fine, let's play 15.
But that ain't what the rules say.
You know who would win? The Patriots would win. Just by a bigger score.
Okay, what does the rules say?
Are you hiding behind rules that apply to boxing when this is hybrid fighting?
There's no hybrid.
Yes, there is.
There's no kicking. So where's the hybrid at? The only difference is that one of the fighters does not have a pure boxing background. So where's the hybrid at?
Has Conor McGregor ever boxed professionally one round of his life?
I don't know.
No, he has not.
Okay, so therefore he's not a professional.
Hybrid. So he is daring to fight Floyd on his turf, and Floyd is volunteering, conceding, promising, let's go 8 ounces. He even went to 4 ounces when pressed.
They're not going 4. They're not going 8. There's a reason why Floyd wanted this fight at 154. Skip, if this is a hybrid, what can Conor McGregor do in the boxing ring, in the MMA ring, that he can't do in the boxing ring? So where's the hybrid? I'm trying to figure, can he kick? Can he take him down? Can he elbow him?
The fight is out of the box. It's combat at a different level.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
They got on boxing gloves. They're going to go by boxing rules. Conor McGregor is barefooted.
Has Conor McGregor ever worn 10-ounce gloves in his life?
No, because he's an MMA fighter.
So is Conor McGregor a pillow fighter? Do you want this to be a pillow fight where Floyd can run for 12 rounds and hope that the judges protect him?
Can I ask you a question? If there's a fighter fighting in Conor in MMA, can he recommend they fight in 8-ounce gloves? Or what are the rules? What's the rules for MMA? You use what size gloves?
He doesn't need 8-ounce gloves. He wouldn't want 8-ounce gloves. He wants 4 ounces.
What
in fact,
are the rules?
You know what Conor McGregor would do for any MMA fight, for any UFC fight?
What?
He'd fight bare knuckle. If the other guy wanted to fight bare knuckle, just fight bare knuckle.
Johnny Bones Jones is ready to fight bare knuckles.
Okay, but he weighs 210 pounds.
Hold on, but you keep...
John Jones told me after the weigh-in he goes up to like 220 or so, yeah?
Well, he was cutting down on the show. He was 220 and he had to be to 205.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but he said he goes back up to 220.
Skip,
so you want Conor McGregor at 150 to fight 220?
You told me he's the baddest man on the planet.
He is. Well, I mean, the size does matter in this after a while. But he did fight Nate Diaz, who weighed probably close to 200.
Johnny Bones Jones just called out Brock Lesnar, who at the weigh-in will weigh 265, and I guarantee you on fight night he'll be around 280, 290, 300.
Okay.
And Bones called him out because he said, I'm the baddest man on the planet, Conor.
Well, let's stay on topic here because you're trying to dance around the topic because you know I've got you on this.
Skip.
The problem is that Floyd is saying it, and you and I know if he says it, if he declares it and concedes it on Instagram in writing, don't listen to the media, then should I take Floyd at his word, or do you agree it's nothing but hot air? It's fake toughness.
I told you that when he said it, because he knew the boxing commission would not relent on these rules, Skip. And if he tried to, you think he owes the IRS? How much you think they would sue Floyd for if he tried to pull out of this fight and take it somewhere?
Well, you can take it somewhere else.
How?
Would Madison Square Garden take this fight?
Yeah.
Would Staples?
Skip, he owes the IRS. Do you want to play for a building that you're not going to fight in? Because they just bought Ice Cube out of that.
Okay. You still won't go head on against the point. Would you be afraid for Floyd's safety with 8-ounce gloves?
The rules say...
I don't care what the rules say. Would you be afraid?
Oh, you break rules?
Forget about the rules. Just in a vacuum, would you fear for Floyd?
I'm a rule follower. I do everything by
the rules.
If the speed limit says 35, I'm going 35. If it says 80, I'm going 80. If it says do not litter, I'm not throwing trash on the road.
I told you the baddest man on the planet would fight him back in some alley in Hollywood right now.
Why would we want...
Bare knuckles. Bare knuckles.
We can fight on August 26th.
If Floyd is the greatest defensive fighter ever, and you say that Conor McGregor cannot, quote unquote, lay a glove on Floyd, what are you afraid of?
Skip.
You know what? You're afraid of the baddest man on the planet. You know it and I know it. You are, and it's okay. I give it to you. You can be afraid for your man's safety. You need 10-ounce gloves.
What you're trying to do to me is that you're trying to do me and Floyd. You're trying to coax us out. But I'm in my element, Skip. I'm a rule follower. I don't like to break the rules because breaking the rules could get someone hurt in any aspect of life, Skip. So I just follow the rules.
Only one participant could get hurt here, and it's Floyd.
Hold
may
on.
or may not.
If he has so much dynamite and lightning and thunder in these hands, knock him out with those pillows.
Bricks are coming.
Well, okay, so what's the problem, Skip?
The problem is that it's all hot air. You should call him out for fake toughness.
No, Skip. They're competitors. The very reason that Michael Jordan responded to Lavar Ball, you said that was beneath him. He's a 6-time champion. He's a jump man, has the most iconic sneaker ever, and he responded to a 50-year-old man that lives in Chino Hills. Why? Because he's a competitor. When Conor McGregor called out Floyd, well, how did you think he was going to respond? Yes, he said, I'll fight you bare knuckles. Yeah, I'll fight you in a restaurant. They're not going to, they're just competitors.
Do you think Lavar Ball's a fake tough guy? I don't. I think if right now Michael said, let's play one-on-one, Lavar would go meet him somewhere
Do you believe he could beat him?
No, I don't.
Okay, then.
But I think he could take his pound of flesh because Lavar's a tough guy.
Lavar's a tough guy. The man 49 and over, been boxing all his life. He's
been running all his life.
I'm sorry that you've never seen any blood on Floyd's face, like Nate Diaz had Conor McGregor like he ate a sloppy Joe. Mouth all bloodied up.
Wrestling.
Sloppy Joe. Man went.
No mercy.
And since you guys brought up Michael Jordan, let's switch gears and
Yes.
talk a little bit more about him. So he's won 6 NBA titles, and he's widely considered to be the best player of all time. So Jordan was asked this week at his flight school basketball camp, who was the better player of all time, Kobe or LeBron? Jordan said, would I rank LeBron over Kobe in terms of best of all time? No, there's something about 5 that beats 3. Now, he may be better than that, but Kobe won 5 championships. LeBron won 3. Shannon, what do you think? Do you agree with
Hell no.
Jordan?
I ain't gonna let you get it out your mouth. No,
Yeah, it wasn't
absolutely not.
I'm shocked.
I'm glad Michael said that. So now we can put this GOAT talk to
Really?
rest.
Okay.
Bill Russell is the greatest all time because last I checked, 11 beat 6.
If
So
it's
that's
just
it.
numbers.
Is that what we're doing, Skip? So why? Hold on, Skip. Look at me when I'm talking to you. You want me on this chair. You need me in this chair.
6-0 in the finals with 6 MVPs.
11
in the
and 1.
finals.
Is 11. Hold on. So if you're going to use that argument, Joe Montana is still the greatest because he's 4-0. You see, here's the problem.
Tom Brady should have been 6-1.
He
You know
coulda-
it, and I know
And he
it.
could have been 3-4 or 2-5. But that's neither here nor there. Let's deal with what we're talking about. Michael Jordan so eloquently stated, 5 is more than 3. So in what mathematics is 6 more than 11? Bill Russell has 11. But you know why they say Michael's the greatest? Because there are other things that go into it. MVPs, all NBAs, leading the league in scoring. Okay, let's just take it on its face value. Kobe Bryant, 5 titles. LeBron, 3. Check Kobe. MVPs, regular season. LeBron James, 4. Kobe Bryant, 1. LeBron James is one of 5 men that's won 4 or more MVPs. He's one of 2 men that win 2 in 2 different locations. He won 2 and 2, Cleveland and Miami. Kareem is 3 and 3, Milwaukee and the Lakers. Would you give that to who? LeBron, right? Okay. Final MVPs. LeBron has 3, Kobe has 2. LeBron James has led his team in scoring every year, 14 years in a row. Kobe Bryant did not lead his team in scoring the first year until year 7. Check LeBron. So by any numerical stance, if all you're looking at championships, Bill Russell is the greatest player ever. But if you're taking other things into consideration, people want to say Michael Jordan. So if you're just looking at championships, if that's the criteria that we're going to use, and it seems to be that's the criteria that Michael Jordan is using, why do we keep anointing him the GOAT? Because 11 is way more than 6. And Bill Russell, in 13 years, went to 12 finals. He lost 1. 11 and 1. The man ain't even got enough fingers to put all them rings on. And you and Michael Jordan gonna sit there and talk about he the GOAT. You not the GOAT. Bill Russell's the GOAT. Bill, they need to come out with some Russell shoes.
Tell me when
Champ man.
Tell me when you're finished.
Michael Jordan could have jump man. Bill Russell, champ man.
Tell me when it's my turn.
Hold up, I need.
You just
Jenny,
dropped the
Jenny,
mic.
give me a finger. Give me a finger, Jenny.
What
Just
do you
hold up one
need?
finger. Just hold up one finger. Hold up one finger, Jenny. That's Bill Russell. That's his logo.
I'm helping you with this.
Champ man.
Just
11.
for right now.
I ain't say 11. I said 11. That's how many championships he got. 11.
Weak
your turn, Skip.
and lame was your argument. And I'm going to shoot a lot of holes in your
I
argument.
want you to. I
You
want
know
you to
what?
try.
It occurred to me while I was listening to your baloney that I will give you this. LeBron James is on his way to becoming the greatest regular season player in NBA
No, we're not
history.
talking about that. No. Don't worry. Just
I
make the
give you
case
that.
okay.
You know, last night when I was thinking about this, 2 things occurred to me. And the first was I went back to 2009 when I was on the old show, and there were these commercials that came out. The puppets. Remember the puppet commercials? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Kobe versus LeBron puppets.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And could we see that quickly just for a second, just to remind everybody how great it was at that point in
it was great.
2009?
Oh my goodness.
It's pretty good.
It was David Allen Greer as the voice of Kobe, and Kenan Thompson as the voice of LeBron, and it was great.
It was a great
I even
commercial.
had the privilege and honor. I got to make a commercial, a digital commercial with the two puppets.
I had
and
the
it was
T-shirt.
something. Did you?
Yes.
And it reminded me of the time when the reason for the commercials was that they were on collision course to meet in the finals. And it was going to be pretty much head-to-head because there was no more Shaq in Los Angeles, right? And what happened right on cue? Orlando happened. LeBron hit the shot heard around the world in Game 2 to even that series in Cleveland at 1-1. Then they went to Orlando, and they lost, and they lost. They came home and won, and then they went back to Orlando and got closed out in 6 games, and didn't happen. And then what happened the next year? It'd be 2010, still more Kobe, LeBron puppet commercials. They were great. I loved them. I loved every one of them.
I bet you did.
And what happened? Right on cue, Kobe's doing Kobe. He's holding up his end of the bargain. And LeBron against Boston played one of the greatest games of his career in Game 3 at Boston Garden. You remember that Friday night game? He went for like 38 and something. He was dynamic in that game. He was unstoppable. And then they lost, and they lost, and they lost. And Dan Gilbert accused LeBron James of quitting in the last 3 losses to the Boston Celtics, which effectively ended, obviously, LeBron's
But we know
run in
that didn't
Cleveland.
happen, though, Skip.
Well, that's what he accused him of. And members of LeBron's inner circle leaked news that was broken on ESPN that LeBron had to be sedated before a couple of those games because of a locker room issue with another teammate. So just for the record, I thought that was a bunch of baloney, but whatever. That's how bad it got at the end of LeBron's run in Cleveland, and Kobe versus LeBron did not happen, right?
Right, it didn't happen, Skip.
Okay, so then what happened over the last 3 years of Kobe's career? Kobe became unwatchable, and it clouded your vision of the greatness of Kobe Bryant because I counted last night, I think he suffered 22 different injuries over a 5-year period. His body just betrayed him. It broke completely down. Do you remember? Yeah. Started with the shoulder, then he had knees, he had the Achilles. Yeah. He broke a couple of fingers. It was always something breaking for Kobe Bryant, and he became a pretty pathetic shell of himself until that final night at Staples when he scored 60, and it looked like he's playing.
Times.
I know he shot 50 times, but it looked like he's playing the Washington Generals,
Yes,
right? The Utah Jazz. I think they were kind of all caught up in the moment, but that was the end of Kobe as we knew and loved him, and it was really 3 years before that. So when I think back of the great Kobe Bryant, what do I think of the most? I think of Mamba mentality. I think of from 2002 until 2012, every year a poll of GMs voted, which player do you want with the ball in his hands at the end of your game? And Kobe won 10 straight years, 2002 to 2012. Kobe Bean Bryant won because he was the closest thing in killer will, in assassin's mentality that we had seen since Michael Jordan. So when I do a vacuum of, I'll give you, LeBron is the more all-around skill player. Obviously, he's a better rebounder. He's a better passer than Kobe.
Oh, he's all those things, but he's not. Okay, but go ahead and make your point.
I'm not sure he's a better defender because Kobe made all defensive team 12 times.
I'm just saying, you keep saying he's a better rebounder, he's a better assist guy.
Yeah.
He has a higher scoring average than Kobe. But I mean, go ahead and make your point.
But who do I want with the ball in his hands at the end of my game? Kobe Bryant. That's the last thing I want is LeBron James. It came to this for LeBron in the Kyrie era. He needed Kyrie to close for him. Really? Do you think Kobe needed a closer? Michael didn't need a closer.
Okay, you said from 2002 to what year? The Kobe, they said GM
2012.
2012. Why did you pick up at 2002 when Kobe Bryant came into the league in 1996? Why did you pick up at 2002?
Well, he was 18 the first year, so.
Oh, LeBron James in 2003 came into the NBA. He was 18.
So?
I'm just trying to figure out why.
Okay,
hold on, Skip. Hold on. Now I'll let you talk, and I didn't interrupt you.
I'm just getting started.
No, okay. I'm just trying to figure out a guy that comes in the league in 1996. You pick up talking about him in 2002. So did 97 through 01, did that not happen?
So?
Okay, I'm just saying, just for me now.
He was still scoring 30 a game. I don't know. Maybe he hadn't become that guy, Jordan-esque yet.
He didn't lead his team in scoring until year 7. LeBron James been in the league 14 years.
Well, Shaq was there.
Oh, that's my point. That's what I want. So, other words, so now that's what.
Okay.
So hold on. So now you're telling me that Kobe Bryant played with a great player. So if LeBron plays with Shaq, They have less than 5. They have less than 3 championships, or they have more.
So then LeBron left Dan Gilbert, and he took his talents to South Beach, and he joined forces with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh and Pat Riley.
Right.
And what happened right away? What happened in the first finals?
They lost.
LeBron melted down the way we've never seen a superstar melt down in the history of sports. The guy that people are saying is the best player on the planet revealed himself to be the mentally weakest superstar we've ever seen. Would that have been Kobe? Would Kobe have allowed that to happen in an NBA Finals?
No, Kobe.
You know and I know it would not have happened.
Kobe would just blow a 3-1 lead to Phoenix. In the West. But hold on. You know what I found out? This is why Michael likes Kobe. Because both of them know what it's like to lose in the first round. LeBron James doesn't know what that's like. He's never known what it's like to lose in the first round.
Yeah, but he's lost 6 NBA Finals. 6 finals? Do you think that Kobe would have stood for losing 6 finals? Because I got to tell you.
He can't lose because he can't get there.
Even with Shaq, and you know I'm a big Spurs fan and have been for a long time.
Yes.
Kobe killed my Spurs with Shaq.
Okay.
It was often more Kobe than Shaq.
Okay. So
I just would sit back and say, that's just too good. I'm sorry.
Okay, so from 01, 02, no, from 2000, 2001, 2002, the Lakers won the NBA Finals. Who was the MVP of those finals? I know Kobe wasn't on that team, so who was the MVP in 2000, 2001, 2002 for the Lakers when they won the finals?
Your puppet master looked it up.
Oh,
You say
no,
it.
Skip,
Go
don't do
ahead.
that. Skip,
It's okay.
don't do that.
It's okay.
I'm just
You
asking.
say it.
Skip, I'm just asking. I know Kobe, because we pick up Kobe's career in 2002, although, Jenny, he was in the league in 1999. So I'm just trying to figure out for me, can someone on my Twitter follow, I'm about to get 250,000 Skip. They love me, Skip. They say, hey, we gonna help you. We gonna help you catch on Skip Bayless. I say, thank y'all very much.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out, you pick up Kobe's career in 2002. So basically, that's 1 year before LeBron gets into the NBA. Now, I know for a fact that he came into the draft in 1996 because they traded Vlade Divac to the Hornets to get him to the Lakers. But that's neither here nor there. LeBron James averages 2 more points, 2 more rebounds, 2 more assists. He is
a stat machine.
Skip.
I give you that.
I'm impressed.
Skip, let me
Regular
ask you-
season
let me ask you a que-
dynamo.
Hold on. But you just talked about Kobe's scoring prowess. But that, scoring not a stat?
Do you think Kobe Bryant would have needed Ray Allen to save his legacy? No,
He
he would have saved
he
his
needed
own.
Shaq and Pau Gasol.
Okay.
So I'm just trying
Wait,
to.
did Shaq get a game winner?
Hold on, I just-
to take LeBron off the hook?
He just
I mean,
averaged.
take
He just.
Kobe off the hook?
Can I ask
No.
you a question? Of all of LeBron's teammates, which one of them is better than Shaq?
Well, in combination.
No, Skip. I'm not trying to open a lock. I don't need combination. I just ask you a simple question. Of all the teammates that LeBron James have had, which one is better than the Diesel?
Who was favored to win LeBron's Miami Finals every time? Who was favored?
All I'm asking, Skip, can you do me this one favor?
How are you favored to win a finals and you're the best player on the planet and you lose the finals by a record margin to the Spurs? How does that happen? In 5 games, you get blown off the floor and you have joined forces with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh? Really?
Skip, I'm just trying to say, you see what you do? See, when they judge LeBron, they take his total body of work. But when you're trying to make your argument for Kobe, you pick up at 2002. But those 7 years before that, they occurred. So talk about that when he averaged 7 points a game. When has LeBron James never, ever, ever averaged less than 20 points a game? Kobe did it twice. They were both the same age entering the NBA. Where is that, Skip?
When has Kobe Bryant, when would any rival player ever dare to call Kobe Bean Bryant the B word to his face, as Draymond called LeBron in a finals
Hold on,
game?
what about this?
Called him the B word?
Chris Childs.
Ultimate disrespect? Are you
Childs,
kidding me?
Chris Childs didn't call him anything. He gave him that 3-piece extra crispy.
Oh, okay.
On command. Talk about that, how he got lumped up by Chris Childs. What did Chris Childs? I'd rather you call me what you want to, but don't put hands on me. Man, put hands on him. Pray for him right there on the court, in the middle of the court. Bless his heart, Lord.
So do I want Mamba mentality or do I want LeBron's mental weakness? I don't know. I think I'm going Mamba mentality.
The man hit you with a 3-piece extra crispy with no sides, and you gonna talk about he got heart?
You don't think Kobe's a tough guy? I'll take his toughness.
The man hit it with a 3-piece and he didn't respond.
Either way, it is nice to hear from MJ, right? Throughout this basketball camp, we're getting a lot of good stuff from him.
Birds of a feather flock together, Skip. When you know what it's like to lose in the first round.
Oh.
Brian don't know that. Why Brian go talk to Mike about losing in the first round for?
Well, Michael knows what it feels like to win 6, and Kobe knows what it feels like to win 5, and LeBron doesn't know that.
LeBron know what it's like. Well,
He knows what it's like to lose 6.
LeBron and Michael can talk about knowing what it's like to win the MVP in every finals they play in, and they won the championship. Kobe don't know what that's like, because Big Diesel was getting all those things. Patting Diesel on the back. Good job, big fella. Big job, big fella. That's my brother. That's my big brother.
No mercy.
It's time for the latest comments from Lavar Ball. Lavar already said his son Lonzo will lead the Lakers to the playoffs in his rookie season. Now, Lavar has a message for LeBron. Take a listen.
If he want to win some championships, he got to come to L.A. and play with my boy. You can't give my boy the best guy in the game and don't expect no championships. That's what I said. If he want to win, come to L.A.
All right, well, Kenyon Martin's still with us. But first, Shannon, I'm going to ask you, is LeVar right about LeBron coming to L.A.?
Hell, I thought he said his boy was better than LeBron. So now that's the...
Well, he did. That's what he's saying now.
Yeah, whatever.
LeBron's going to need Lonzo.
LeVar is trying to speak it into existence because basically, since he's burst onto the scene, Skip, everything that he spoke about has come true. His son's going to the Lakers, and he's talking all this stuff. He missed his calling. He should have been a salesman, because this dude can sell anything.
Door to door.
Man, this dude here can
He
sell
should go door to door.
Door to door.
He can sell a fly swatter.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen anybody sell this stuff. And he believes it. He got me believe like, yeah, LeBron he should go to L.A. For me, Skip, here's the thing with LeBron. This is what we know about him. He's very methodical. He's very thoughtful. So he's mapping out, okay, where can I go to win a championship, or can I stay here? I think it's going to be contingent on 2 things. What do they get for Kyrie? And then looking at the landscape. Because I give him that. Now, the Lakers have some nice young pieces, Ingram and Randall, but are those young, talented players going to be ready to compete with the Warriors and what they've assembled? Are they going to be ready to compete with OKC, because OKC is up and coming? Are they going to be able to compete with the San Antonio Spurs? That's what LeBron's going to have to ask himself. And I know LeVar, his boy, and he's going to dish that thing off and all that. I get it. But LeBron ain't worried about no dishing off. LeBron, how can I and 2 other guys, maybe a third, take down 7-foot Steph Curry, Clay, and Draymond? That's the only thing that's on LeBron's mind. Not where he's going, but who can he do it with?
Go ahead.
I'm so sick and tired of talking about LeVar Ball.
He's not going anywhere, so.
That is obvious. But it is what it is. I don't think LeBron James come to the Lakers. I think he stays in Cleveland, or he takes his act back down to South Beach.
I can see that.
I think Miami is an attractive location for free agents. If he was to be there, guys who want to go to Miami and not Cleveland. But I think he stays put in Cleveland. He got 1 championship there. I don't think he's satisfied with just having that one there. So I can't see him leaving right now and going to play with a bunch of young guys and that they don't know what they're going to get. None of those guys have proven anything yet in the league.
Yeah.
So are you willing to sit around and wait for another 2-3 years? And
He closer to the end.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that. I think you have pieces in Cleveland now. You can add another piece or 2 and still be in the finals every year and have those
Bron
opportunities.
calling you?
No, that came my phone.
Hey,
It came on his phone.
it might be calling right now. Actually. I don't know, but no, it's just one of those things where I just don't see him leaving the situation he's in right now.
What you thinking?
LeVar Ball just keeps on being right about everything he talks about, or at least a lot of right about what he talks about. And I've told this man, I believe he's going to be right about the Lakers making the playoffs next year. I know it's a long shot, but Lonzo Ball is real.
In what league?
In the NBA West, in the
big-
Western Conference.
What they doing in the
Watch
Pac-12,
and
Pac-10,
learn.
whatever it
Watch
is?
and learn from Lonzo Ball. I told you he was special. I told you he was transcendent. I told you he was by far the best player in this draft, and he's going to change life in Laker Nation.
This
And
coming up season or the next year?
This season.
You're out of your mind.
There are lots of pieces there. This kid is really gifted at what he does, and there's going to be contagious new energy on that basketball team.
Are they playing in the East
because
or the
they're
West?
going to play in the West, and they're going to surprise a lot of people, including
So are they going to be? So
Kmart.
they didn't make it last
Yep.
year, right?
They won 26 games last
So-
year.
Was Lonzo there last year? Help me
Who-
out.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you this.
How many wins do you think it's going to take to get to the playoffs?
I don't know, and I don't
In the
even
West.
care.
You don't. Well, no. That answer's not acceptable.
You know
That
what?
answer's
It's
not
acceptable.
Yeah. How many
Eighth
wins
spot.
do?
That's all I know.
How many
Eighth
wins?
Spot.
So how many wins will it take to get to that spot?
You do the math. I don't know what's
At
going to
least
happen.
50. At least 50.
Yep.
So do you think he's
Watch
24
what
wins?
happens.
So
Watch
do you
what
think he gets
happens.
25 wins?
Whatever it takes, they're going to
Not
make
a
the
chance.
eighth spot.
Not a
The
chance.
bandwagon is going to
Not
roll.
a
And you know
chance.
what the answer
Did they
to this
do more
question
than
is?
Minnesota in the offseason? Did they do more than Minnesota?
I got to see Minnesota's chemistry. I got to see it.
Their chemistry.
I got to see if it clicks and works. It
Man,
hasn't.
listen.
You got to see.
Yeah.
What about the Lakers' chemistry?
I love it. I saw enough of it with Kyle Kuzma in the summer league. You watch
Really?
what happens.
He might not even
you
play.
watch what happens. Okay.
He gonna play
Here's
over
the
Ingram?
point. I'm
Is
going
he
to
gonna play
answer
over
Jenny's
Ingram?
original question.
Yes.
It might just be that a year from now, LeBron James will be hoping that the Lakers want to bring him to LA.
Let's stop.
I'm serious about
Let's
that
stop.
because, wait.
Jesus Christ.
LeBron James will have played, he thinks he's Jesus Christ, but that's what, okay. LeBron will have played 15 NBA seasons, and the Lakers are going to have 2 open max slots. I'll just throw you a hypothetical. What if Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook decide to bury the hatchet and make peace and become best buddies again, and they say, you know what? Let's reteam, because Kevin by then will have 2 rings, because he'll have beaten LeBron again in the finals and been the MVP. What if they just say, because obviously Russell's from Southern California, and Kevin, I think, still has a place there. I'm pretty sure he does. What if they just say, we'll go to the Lakers with Lonzo, and we'll both be the wingmen for Lonzo distributing the basketball. Then Kevin doesn't have to worry about Russell having the ball in his hands the whole time.
I think you and LeVar should start a company together.
I'm just talking.
Because you selling this, boy.
Hey,
You are selling
do you
this.
not see that
No,
happening?
not a
Can you not
chance.
seeing that team dethroning
No.
a Golden State that no longer has Kevin Durant? I'm just throwing it out.
Okay, well, what about if LeBron goes to San Antonio and Paul George goes to San Antonio?
Well, then San Antonio will win the championship.
Because that's a viable option.
Yeah.
Now I agree. I like Miami because I believe if he can forgive Dan Gilbert for what he said, he definitely can forgive Pat Riley for what he said about it when he was exiting. So, but for me,
You better hope that the wheels don't start coming off LeBron James. He's played over 50,000 minutes, and this is his 15th season. And you know all too well what happens when you get into that age range and that much wear and
ain't
tear
slowed
on your
down
body.
yet.
Well,
He ain't slowed down yet.
okay, what happened to that age range with Tom Brady?
Well, it's a different game. You already told me quarterbacks can last longer because they don't take much contact and there's not a lot of movement.
They're not.
Although he's got the sweetest feet in pro football in the pocket.
And
He got
ain't
on female block.
Fast twitch muscles, quick, and all that
Okay,
stuff is
all
a
right.
lot different.
Well, making my case.
No,
LeBron.
I just don't. All these hypothetical, what if he went here and went there, and the Lakers won't make the playoffs.
Okay.
They're not good
I
enough.
say they will.
They won't.
We will revisit
Make a
this.
gentleman's bet.
Okay. All right.
Not
You're going to
a
have to come in
chance.
here week after week
That's
next
fine.
year.
Hey, listen, you'll
and you're
see a
gonna
lot of
say,
this
you know
one.
what?
Hey, listen, you'll
Those
see a lot of
Lakers-
this face.
Those Lakers are really
I'm gonna
good.
be listening. I'm just gonna sit here and stare at you.
All right.
We're going to have plenty
I
of
want you to
conversation.
listen, and I want you to admit, yeah, they're not that good.
A lot
right
of
now.
Kenyon
They got good
coming back
pieces.
for us.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft, in for Joy Taylor. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports. One of one.